Hey guys, welcome back to the game studio with Dave from Clockwork Guitars. Talking about another mode today. So far we've done Ionian, which is natural major, excuse me. We've done Aeolian, natural minor. We've done Mixolydian, and we've done Dorian. And today we're going to tackle Lydian. The Lydian mode. It is the fourth mode of the major scale, meaning that it is built on the fourth tone of a major scale. So if we were to take C major, the notes of a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and we were to start on the fourth tone, C, D, E, F, so we were to start on F and use the same notes from the C major scale, we would get F Lydian. So F, A, G, F, G, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Those would be the notes that we use for F Lydian. Okay. Once again, because I don't like to relate F Lydian back to C major, even though they're the exact same scale, I like to relate F Lydian back to F major and see how they're different. Lydian is a major mode. It's built off the fourth tone of the scale, and the fourth tone of a major scale, if you build a triad off of that, you get a major chord. So it's one chord is major. It's a major mode. Okay? And there's one difference in between Lydian and natural major. We're going to be playing with C Lydian, incidentally, in case you're following along at home or whatever. So we'll play C natural major, and then we'll see how it alters if we're going to go with C Lydian. Okay? There's only one change. Just like with Mixolydian. We had natural major, we changed to Mixolydian. All we did was we flatted the seventh. So we lowered the seventh tone to give us a half-step relationship in between the sixth tone and the seventh tone of the Mixolydian scale. In Lydian, it's kind of the same sort of thing. We're moving where the half-step relationship is. So, Lydian, or natural major, let's say C natural major. As we've talked about, we have a half-step in between 3 and 4, and a half-step in between 7 and 1. Gives us the leading tone there, right? 1, 2, 3, half-step to 4, 5, 6, 7, half-step to 1. All very familiar sounds, right? Now, Lydian changes that. It moves one note. It takes the fourth tone of the scale and raises it. It sharps it, all right? Effectively, what we're doing is we're moving the half-step relationship from between 3 and 4 to between 4 and 5. We have a whole step in between 3 and 4 now. Whole step, half step to 5, whole step to 6, whole step to 7, half step to 1. So we still have a half step in between 7 and 1, but now we also have a half step in between 4 and 5. Okay, it's a very distinct sound. That's your root right there. Okay. Quite a bit different from natural major. Sounds a little bit brighter. Sounds a little... it's kind of... I don't know how to exactly phrase it, but it's a little unstable. It's a little too happy, if that makes sense. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. However you can think to sort of think of that sound. It's a little demented. I'm just gonna, like it's the Danny Elfman when he wrote the Simpsons theme song. He used the Lydian mode. Okay, there's your tonic right there. He's using the raised fourth instead of the normal natural major fourth. It's not. It's. Okay, we get the Simpsons theme song. Another example of this is a classic from my youth, Joe Satriani. The song "Flying in a Blue Dream." Whoops. I'm not sure if that's the exact voicing. But basically the idea is he's holding a 1 down here and he's playing a chord with that raised 4th tone, resolving back down, okay? And it just gives this kind of like ambient, ethereal, spacious quality, okay? Now what is exactly happening with the chords when you're dealing with Lydian? The big thing is that you still have a major 1 chord. So if we're in C, we still have a major chord built on 1, but we also have a major chord built on 2. Okay? Normally, in natural major, the 2 chord is minor. But the note that we altered, making it Lydian, raising the 4th tone, made our 2 chord major. Okay? And this is kind of a very strong feeling for Lydian, right? Holding the root of the 1 down on the bottom and playing a 2 chord, a major 2 chord over the top of that. You hear that a lot. Okay? It's a very distinguishing quality of Lydian. The other thing is that the minor chord now, or I should say, the 7th tone of the scale now has a minor chord built on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 used to be diminished from natural major. If you're not remembering that, go back and watch the natural major video. The chord on 7 was usually diminished. Now it's minor. And it resolves up to major 1. So the big changes are major 2 chord, minor 7 chord, and no functional 4 chord. Okay? We've raised the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It got raised up. And the chord that results from raising that 4 chord up is a diminished chord. You want to avoid that, okay? If you're going to stay strictly within a Lydian sound. Because the diminished chord sounds like it wants to resolve someplace else. So it's going to take your ear someplace else. It's going to take you out of that Lydian thing back to a standard major tonality of a different note. Okay? So stay away from the diminished thing. Don't use a 4 chord. I mean, if you're going to be strict about Lydian. Your 5 chord is still major. Your 1 chord is still major. Now your 2 chord is major. All right? So work with those. Stay away from the 4 chord. It's not going to work if we're strictly talking Lydian. Now, Lydian, I'm going to give you a sound example of Lydian. I'm going to give you a chord progression that would be sort of emphasizing that Lydian tonality, and then play over it a little bit, as I usually do, and give you a chance to listen to what that sounds like. Now, this chord progression, it's going to be fairly simple. I'm going to kind of drone over a tonic note. It's going to be a C. I'm just going to keep that in the bass pretty much the whole time, and then I'm going to put a couple of changes over the top. The major 2 chord, maybe the minor 7 chord, back to 1. But I'm going to leave the tonic in the bass the whole time so you can hear how that color relates back to the tonic. Okay? So here we go. Take a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's the basic idea. We're going to drone over that. I'll play a little melodic phrase over that, and you can hear what it sounds like. Here we go. Okay, that's the basic sound of Lydian. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You hear that sound or you recognize it, you can pick it up in different places. Lots of things, lots of songs are not strictly in Lydian for the whole time. They just kind of like dive into Lydian here and there. Section of their song, most things just kind of function naturally better in natural major, but then they might just kind of like have a just a moment where they pull something from the Lydian sound. So listen for that and see what you can come up with and practice that Lydian scale. And we will continue on. Next time, I think we're going to do Phrygian, the last minor mode. All right, guys, take care.